Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful way to get a handle on those overwhelming thoughts we all have. It's a fantastic metaphor from acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, called the passengers on the bus. And honestly, it might just completely change the way you think about your own mind.
So let me ask you this. Does this sound familiar? You know that feeling when you try to just push a thought away, but it comes back with a vengeance, maybe even louder than before? Yeah, if you're nodding along, you are definitely not alone in that.
These thoughts, they can feel so powerful, can't they? Maybe for you, it's that constant loop of overthinking every single decision. Or maybe it's those really scary, intrusive thoughts that just pop into your head out of nowhere. Or, that little voice, that inner critic that's always telling you you're not good enough. It can make you feel completely and utterly stuck, like you just can't move forward with what you actually want to do in life.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by looking at whether your thoughts are in the driver's seat. Then, we'll build this incredible bus metaphor piece by piece. We'll explore why the usual ways we try to deal with this stuff just don't work, and I'll introduce you to a much more powerful alternative. And we'll wrap up with 4 concrete steps you can take to grab that steering wheel. All right, let's kick things off with the most important idea of all. It's a simple shift in perspective, but believe me, it is absolutely profound when it comes to what's going on inside our heads.
And here it is. This is the crucial point. You are not your thoughts. They're just events that happen inside you. Think of them like clouds passing through the sky. You are the sky, not the clouds. You are the one in the driver's seat of your life, not them. Just letting that sink in for a minute can be a total game changer.
Okay, so let's really get into this metaphor. I want you to actually picture this in your mind. Imagine you are a bus driver. This one simple image is going to give us a whole new way to understand what's happening up there. So, first things first, there's the driver. And that, of course, is you. You're the one with your hands on the wheel. You're the conscious self who's ultimately in charge of where this whole journey is going.
And the bus itself? Well, that's your life. It's the vehicle that's carrying you forward on your own unique path.
Now, what about the destination? This part is super important. It's not some specific single place, like get that promotion. No, the destination is a direction. It's your values, the things that truly matter to you, like being a more connected person, or focusing on growth, or love. It's the direction you're always steering towards. And finally, we have the passengers. So what are they? They're all your thoughts, your feelings, your memories. They get on the bus, they get off the bus, they walk around, they make noise, but here's the key. They have absolutely zero access to the steering wheel. Only you do.
And just like a real bus, you get all kinds of passengers. Some of them are great, they're friendly, they're encouraging, but others can be loud, really critical, and sometimes just plain terrifying. They're the ones yelling from the back of the bus, trying to convince you you're a terrible driver or that you're about to crash.
So this brings us to a huge question. How do we deal with those difficult passengers? Well, most of us, we default to 2 main strategies. And here's the thing. Both of them are basically guaranteed to fail.
Okay, so strategy number 1 is just listening to them. We believe those critical voices, we let them tell us where to go. We're essentially letting a loud, obnoxious passenger grab the wheel. Then there's strategy 2, fighting them. We slam on the brakes, we get out of the driver's seat, and we storm to the back of the bus to argue with them, trying to prove them wrong or kick them off. Do you see the problem here? It doesn't matter if you're listening to the passengers or if you're arguing with them. The result is exactly the same every single time. The bus stops. You are no longer moving toward what matters to you. You're just stuck. So if listening and fighting are both losing strategies, what's left? What are we supposed to do? Well, this is where this amazing concept called defusion comes into play. It's a third option, and it's a much, much more effective one. So what is defusion? It's basically the skill of unhooking from your thoughts. It means you learn to see them for what they are, just passengers on the bus, without getting all twisted up in their drama. You don't have to believe them, and you definitely don't have to fight them. You just notice they're there. The new approach, then, is actually beautiful in its simplicity. You just acknowledge the presence of even the most difficult, noisy passengers. You hear them yelling, and you keep your hands on the wheel, and you just keep driving toward what matters to you. You can even have a little script ready to go in your mind. So when that thought pipes up with, "You can't do this," you can mentally reply, "Noted. Thanks for your input, but I'm still driving." See? You're not agreeing, you're not arguing, you're just acknowledging and moving on. Okay, I know this sounds great in theory, but the big question is, how do we actually do it, right? How do we make this real? So let's break it down into 4 practical steps you can start using literally today. Here we go. 4 steps. Step 1, identify your passengers. Seriously, take a minute and actually write down the recurring thoughts that always seem to knock you off course. Step 2, name them. Give them a label, maybe even a silly one, like the criticizer or the worry monster. Just that little act creates some distance. Step 3, acknowledge, don't argue. When they pop up, just notice. Ah, there's the criticizer again. And finally, step 4, and this is the most important one, keep your hands on the wheel. Gently bring your focus back to your values, back to the direction you want your life to go.
And I want you to remember this really powerful insight from psychologist Dr. Vaneet Duggal. Transformation happens naturally, not forcefully. This isn't about wrestling your mind into submission. It's about changing your relationship with your thoughts, creating a bit of space, and letting that new understanding guide you forward.
So, at the end of the day, here's what it all comes down to. The passengers might be loud, they might be really persistent, but they do not get to steer the bus. You do. So the only real question left is, where are you driving?